Ahead of Friday's trip to Portman Road, Blues boss Gary Rowett admits his side aren't used to chasing matches following Tuesday's defeat to Nottingham Forest.
I just think when you're chasing a game, and I think everyone has to remember as well that part of our form early season is that we've not had to actually chase a game for about 10 games. So maybe it's something we've not really had that much chance to work on because we've not needed to do it. So I think we just lost our collective cool really a little bit, and maybe sometimes when you see, obviously from my point of view, you want to get another striker on the pitch. I think the temptation sometimes, we saw it last season when Nicola came on the pitch at times, but when you see two big men up there, I think the players are in a rush to hit them, rather than give them better service, rather than try to work the ball wide, be patient, try to get crosses in the box rather than hitting them with straight balls that are very easy if you're a strong side like Forest were defensively to deal with. So I think that's something we obviously need to be better at. But I'd rather be in a position saying that, you know, we've only got to chase a game every one game in 10 rather than every week. But certainly it gives us food for thought and something to work on. Moments change games, and we didn't create enough of those moments for probably the first time this season, but there were still 2 or 3 situations where, you know, if John maybe had worked the keeper or finished his chance off, which again I'm not berating him for, but then the game changes, you're ahead again and Nottingham Forest have to come out and open up, and you could see really, and after speaking to Dougie afterwards, that part of their tactic really was to bypass our midfield and not allow us any chance to exploit the space, which we've done so well this season. And some teams will do it. Millwall did it to us last season, where they weren't particularly interested in making lots of passes. You know, they tried to drop in and deny space. And I think any team, we've seen that when we've played against teams, any team, if you deny them space, it's very difficult for them to break you down. Then you always have an opportunity on the counter-attack or with a mistake. And unfortunately, we made the mistake that led to their goal. I don't think they've had to work that hard to score the goal. I don't think they created that many other opportunities. So sometimes you have to take your hands off and say they looked perhaps a little bit hungrier than us on the night. And that's a disappointment. But again, listen, if we'd been stood here now and said after 6 games we'd be level with some of the big teams in the division with 1 game less than them and up where we are, we'd have certainly been very, very pleased.
Having made just the 1 change on Tuesday, Rowett says it's hard to make changes to a side doing so well.
It's always difficult to. I think we're on such a good run against Forest that my temptation, I wanted to maybe change 3 or 4, and then the more you look at the team, I just felt, you know what, can we just go again with another result? It's something that served us so well over the time that we've been here, that little bit of continuity and a little bit of maybe trust in the players. You can argue whether that's worked or not worked, you know. So, but certainly against Ipswich, we've got an opportunity to make some changes to the team, whether we choose to do that. Some of them might be in terms of freshness, some might be to change things tactically, but we've got a good enough squad to be able to do that. It's always going to be a difficult game going away to Ipswich on a Friday night. I don't think anyone's gone there and had an easy game because of the way they play. You know, they're a pressure team. They force you into mistakes. They force you into having to defend, and we've got to be at our best. And certainly, I'll be looking for a reaction from the players and hopefully to play with a little bit more composure than we did at times second half.
And now the manager looks ahead to Friday's tough challenge against Ipswich Town and manager Mick McCarthy.
Well, it was interesting because against Reading, I think they probably tried to play a passing game more than I've ever seen them play before, and I'm not, you know, that's been something that probably, you know, their strengths of laying the physicality of the team and the way they run as a team and work hard. And you know, I'm not trying to tell anyone about their tactics, but they seem to pass the ball a lot more and got counter-attacks really, really well by Reading. So, I mean, the last couple of games we've seen, you know, they've been back to that really strong, really hard to play against, which, as you can imagine, any team I think would have to lose in 5-1. Although I thought the scoreline was a little bit flattering to Reading. So, we expect them to be really tough. We expect them to be, you know, not to make lots and lots of passes at times. And again, that's when you play a side like that, that's your challenge. Your challenge is, can you deal with their physicality? Can you deal with their tempo? And that's been a big strength for them. That's what's got them up to the top of the league in the last 2 seasons. I think Mick's done an amazing job there. And you know what you're going to get against them. So I think in some ways that makes it easy in terms of the players know. So therefore, can you deal with it? You know, it's up to you as an individual and as a team to do that. I think he's the type of manager that anyone meets him, you respect him straight away because he's such a great guy, full of character. Always help younger managers, I think, and certainly he's one that I would look up to and respect, and also respect the things he's achieved. You know, in the Championship, he's been brilliant. I mean, the level of consistency he's had at a number of clubs, you can only marvel at. So, listen, that won't make any difference Friday night. Of course, we'll be going out there to try and win the game, but what you would say is Mick McCarthy's team, you know exactly what you're going to come across, and you've got to be at your very, very best to get anything.